Hello and welcome to IP lesson. In this lesson we will learn about securing access. So when we talk about security actually is a very big field in networking, but there is very well known concept for security. This concept in CISSP certificate, but it's very important and we need to know about that concept. The concept is CIA. So C stand for confidentiality, I stand for integrity, and the A stand for availability. Confidentiality, we need to secure our data and make it private, and only the trusted people can see our data. For integrity, we need only trusted data go through our network. And availability, we need our data to be available 24/7. So let's see how to apply the CIA concept to our network. First thing, we will start with physical. So our rack or our network cabinet cannot be stored anywhere in our office. For that reason, our network equipment should exist in a dedicated room. So some people call this room telecom room, server room. There is also MDF and IDF. All those names refer to the room where we store our network equipment. This room should be locked and only the trusted people can access to that room, and no one else can access this room. Also, after we configure our devices, any port that is empty and not used, it's recommended to shut down those ports. Next step is to secure our console port, because anyone have access to our console port can do any changes to our network. So we cannot leave our console port unsecured, and anyone can connect his laptop to that console port and do anything to our network. In order to secure our console port, we can use one of two methods. We can create a password for our console port, and to do that, we need to access to the line console 0 sub-configuration mode, and here we can do any configuration for the console port. We can set up a password and put the command login. Login mean anyone want to access to the console port, he should put the password. We can also secure our console port by creating local credentials. So in the global configuration mode or privilege exec mode, we can set up a username and password. As we can see in our example, username Bob, password Bob. After that, we can go to the line console sub-configuration mode and put the command login local. This means anyone want to access to the console cable, please check the local credentials that is created on that device. So in real life, in order to access the console port, we need a software called terminal emulation. This software will allow us to access the network device after we connect our console cable. For Cisco devices, we need to do some configuration in the terminal configuration in order to be able to access the console port. So I have the right window, this right window from packet tracer, and this left window from terminal emulation software called Secure CRT. So for bits per second, we need to set it up to 9600. Data bits should be 8, parity should be none, stop bits should be 1, flow control should be none. So let's do a lab for line console password. I will bring in the device PC, and I will bring a switch, 3560 switch, and I will connect my PC to my switch using the console cable. I will use the serial port RS232 and then connect it to my console port. Now I will open my switch, CLI, put no here. So So in order to put the password, we need to go to the line console 0 sub-configuration mode. Enable, configure terminal, line console 0, password, Cisco, and then put the command login. Now let's try to access the console port using my PC. I will go to desktop, terminal, and the terminal configuration should be good. I will press OK. I am still on the line console configuration mode. I need to exit first. Exit again, exit again, exit again. And now it asks me for the password. I should put Cisco now. And now it allows me to access my switch. So after we test the line console 0 password, we need to do another scenario. In this scenario, we have an employee called Bob, and we need Bob to be able to access to our switch using his username Bob, password Bob. So let's do that. So I am here back to my topology. Let's open our switch. Enter, put the password Cisco. I will erase the commands that I did on my switch. Enable, conft, line console 0, no, password Cisco, no, login. So right now I removed the password. I will press on Ctrl and Z at the same time, exit again, and it doesn't ask me for password now. Let's create username Bob, password Bob, enable, conft, username Bob, password Bob, press enter. So right now I have a username Bob and password Bob created on my configuration. Let's press Ctrl and Z at the same time. Show, running config, include, username. And as you can see, there is a username and password created for Bob. The next step is going to line console 0 sub-configuration mode and use the command login local. So here I am back to my switch. I am on the global configuration mode. I'm gonna put the command line console 0 login local. Let's test that. I will open my PC, terminal. Okay. Let's exit out of that. Exit again. And now it asks me for username Bob, password Bob, and I can access the console cable now. So right now our company hired a new employee. His name is Jack. This employee need to access to our network equipment. So let's add Jack also. So here I am back to my switch. Enable, conft, username Jack, password Jack, press enter. Let's see if Jack can access to our switch. I'll go back to my PC, click on terminal. Okay, let's exit again. Jack, username, and the password is Jack also. And Jack also can access to our switch. So Bob is a trusted employee and he's a senior engineer. And Jack is a new junior engineer, and we need to give Jack a very limited access. And for Bob is very trusted engineer, and we need to give him access to all the configuration. For that reason, there is something called enable password. So for enable password, you will need to enter this password in order to enter the enable mode and any mode above this, the configuration mode or privilege exec mode and the sub configuration mode. So for our scenario, we can give Bob the enable password. With that enable password, Bob can do any configuration for our device. For Jack, we can give him only the username and password, and he will have a very limited access to our network equipment. So back to my switch, and I will configure the enable password now. Configure terminal, enable, password, Cisco. Now let's try to access using the console cable and see what will happen. I will open my PC, desktop, terminal, and press OK. So let's exit out and let's try with Bob. Username Bob, password Bob, enable, and Bob has the enable password, which is Cisco, and right now Bob can access the enable mode and any mode above this. So let's try with Jack. Jack just have the username and password and he doesn't have the enable password. So I will exit out. Username is Jack, password is Jack, enable, and right now Jack have to enter the enable password and he don't have it. Let's see the commands that Jack can do here. So we can do the question mark, and as you can see, Jack have a very limited commands. We saw already the enable password, and we have another command which is enable secret. Enable secret is same as enable password, but secret encrypts the password. As you can see in our example here, if we put enable password Cisco and enable secret, and after that if we did show running config include enable, we will see the enable password written in a clear text. So anyone will type the command show running config include enable will know our password. But for secret is encrypt the password, and as you can see, no one will understand or know what is the secret password. Also, if we did show running config include user, as you can see here, username Bob and the password Bob is written in a clear text. Same thing for Jack, it's written in a clear text. So for Bob and Jack, in order to change the password and encrypt the password, we can do one of two methods. We can delete the command username Bob password Bob and then put the command username Bob secret Bob. Or we can use the command service password encryption, and this command will encrypt any password written in our device configuration. So here I am back to my switch. I will put the username Bob, password Bob, then enable. The enable password is Cisco, and let's see the enable password when we do show running config include enable. Press enter, and as you can see, the enable password is written in a clear text. Anyone can see it. Let's go to the configuration mode, and here I will put enable secret. Let's press enter. Let's exit out and do the command show run include enable. And as you can see, the enable secret is encrypted. No one can know what is the enable secret, and the enable password is written in a clear text. Let's check the usernames and the passwords. And as you can see, the username and password is written in a clear text. We need to encrypt the password. So right now we will use the command service password encryption in order to encrypt the enable password and to encrypt the username passwords. So I will go to the global configuration mode, put the command service password / encryption and press enter. Let's exit and do the command show running config include username. And as you can see, Bob password is encrypted and Jack password is encrypted. Let's check the enable password. And as you can see, the secret and the password is encrypted right now. This is the end for this video. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.